Hello, it's my first proper video, not that awful channel trailer I just made. We're going to talk about the signings that we made. Deadline day signings, the one we made the day before, and Davies. So, let's get into it. Okay, so just the 4 signings that we made. Obviously players left. I'm not going to talk about them so much, I'm going to talk about the players that come in. First one we got was Davies from Liverpool on loan. Reasonably impressed with him. I think the thing is, if you're going to play a back 3 like I think we probably are going to have to, then he'll fit. And he's probably like a good old Conor replacement. Jack Robinson's a bit shorter, not good in the air. I think he got bullied against Birmingham, so Davies, good option there. A little bit better on the ball by the looks of it to pass it out. Watched him against Huddersfield. I thought he was good all game, and then seemed to make a mistake towards the end. Or I don't think it was just him that made a mistake. I think there was 2 or 3 players that made a mistake, because there more than just one player free in the box. But he certainly was one of them. But I do think that give him an opportunity, he'll probably be okay over the season. He'll be pretty good. So I'm happy with that one. They're all loans, which is I'm a bit disappointed with. I wanted a couple of permanents, but I think we probably were after players, but it's not ended up happening. Then we got Hourihane, another one, loan. I like Hourihane. I've always thought he was a good idea. He's one of them players that whenever I get a Football Manager, I sign Hourihane for us. So, but I've done that before, and the players have been awful. So don't judge me on my Football Manager skills. But I like Hourihane, free kick taker, which is good. He scored I think he scored a free kick or 2 for Swansea, which is good, because we don't look like we're going to score free kicks. I don't know who's going to shoot from free kicks. Norwood, he hits them on target with it straight into the keeper's hands every time. We certainly need to create a few more, really. That's the major issue. The strikers are having problems because they're not being given enough opportunities. Because nobody can tell me that with the strikers we've got, we can't score goals. They're just not getting enough opportunities. Aguero used to miss 4 of the 5 chances he had a game at City, and they'd say he had a good game. Our striker's not even getting 1 chance a game, and Aguero was getting 6 or 7. You know, De Bruyne had put him on a plate. But you know, we need to do a lot more of that, sort of putting it on the plate for the strikers, because I don't think we're going to get anywhere otherwise, because that's what these strikers like. I don't think Matt Burney's going to dribble past 10 people and score. Brewster's certainly not. Billy's certainly not. You know, McGoldrick's going to miss on the line anyway, but he's sort of meant to be someone who drops back and creates for others. And Burke's quick, but he doesn't really have much else. But if you stick it on his foot on the line, he might score a few if he's quick enough to get on the end of them. Moose will be injured majority of the season anyway, I'm pretty certain of. But if he comes in a few times, he may do something. Gibbs-White, another loan. Hearing today that Wolves have an option to call him back in January, which is a bit annoying, because if he does well, and if Wolves are not doing so well, because I've got Wolves down as not doing overly well, so if that's the case, they may call him back in January, which wouldn't be ideal. But he's got to do well first, and he's got to stay fit, 'cause he didn't stay fit at Swansea. So hopefully he'll be good. But he's another player who I've seen before and I liked. I watched him play for Wolves when they were on the BBC last season. I can't remember if they played, but whatever. He looked good in that game. I think he scored, and he missed one we should have scored, and he got a pass wrong, which he should have done differently. But I think Gibbs-White is a good option. Certainly someone who can go forwards a bit better. I think we're almost playing this system at the minute where we have like 2 holding and 2 in front, because we haven't got any wide players. It looks like he's looked at wide players, but it hasn't obviously worked to bring him in. And if we want to go for wide players now, maybe he's an option as someone you can put out wide. You know, someone like him and Freeman out wide, and maybe put Bogle in a more advanced position is probably your best shout of having wide players. I mean, maybe we're going to drop in and play 2 a bit deeper with 1 in front, like we did when we had Duffy in front, and Gibbs-White could fill that role. There's a possibility there, but it almost seems like if that's what we're going to do, we'd have done it with Freeman already, because Freeman's ready to play in that position. But I think that sort of got him almost to replace Duffy, and then we ended up changing to a 3, and Lundstrom ended up coming in. He had that good couple of months and then never did anything again. But yeah, I think Freeman would be ready if you play that one in behind the two up top. Then obviously right towards the end, after thinking we were going to sign about 4 more players, we got 1. And there was a surprise in the end that we even got 1, because it got to 11 o'clock and we all thought, oh, that's the end, no more signings, oh dear. And then the announcement came through at about 8 minutes past 11. I was refreshing my Facebook page. Why haven't we signed anyone else? I watched the Sheffield United Way, the other YouTube channel. They were doing a live stream. They went off. They thought, oh my goodness, it's the end. And I've just refreshed it. And thank goodness Robin Olsen had signed, because we needed a keeper, in my opinion. Fotheringham's okay. Verrips doesn't look quite there yet. But we needed somebody else, I think. Because I don't think I'd have been comfortable with Fotheringham for the season. You know, we just got rid of Simon Moore as well. I like Simon Moore. I don't think Simon Moore would have played in a Jukanovic team, because he's not overly good with his feet. And obviously when if Ramsdale had stayed, it would have been awesome, but he hasn't. I've not seen a lot of Olsen. I watched him once when he was at Everton. Didn't really see much of him. You don't really see much of goalkeepers, do you? He seems okay with his feet, at least. And I think I watched him for Sweden. Can't remember it. Did he play in the Euros? Or did they have another keeper? Whatever. I think I've seen him play for Sweden, and I thought he was okay for Sweden. So whatever. Listen, he's a biggish name keeper. He's been at Roma, he's been abroad, and been at Everton, played and kept Pickford out for quite a while. So it's going to be interesting, and hopefully he's just steady. I just want someone who's steady, not going to make too many big mistakes, as we all do, of course. But who knows? Overall, what would I say that the transfer window, how good has the transfer window been? I still don't think it's been that good. I don't think we needed a striker. Some people are saying, oh, we needed a striker. I don't think we needed a striker. I don't think the defence needed much work. But the midfield, okay, yeah, looks like we've sorted the central midfield area out okay. You know, and we've kept all the likes of Berger, who I think will come good. I still think Norwood's going to be okay. I don't know what we're expecting from Norwood. Norwood's always been up and down, up and down, up and down between game and game. We're going to expect it, and he's going to play under Jukanovic, because he's Jukanovic's sort of player. He fits his style. And Fleck as well. If we can just get Fleck going in a run of form, Fleck can be really good. So I'm behind Fleck. Maybe he's going to miss out a bit with Hourihane coming in. Maybe Hourihane's going to play a bit deeper instead of Norwood. I can't see Norwood dropping out. I think Hourihane will play where Fleck's playing. So it's going to be interesting in terms of that, because I think Fleck can really get good. He's been up and down as well. That's what Fleck's been like for a long time. So, you know, even in his promotion season, he didn't have a great season. In the season we went up to the Premiership, he's probably had his best time. We went up from League One and the sort of beginning of the season after that. And then when we got into the Premier League, he struggled at the beginning. Then I thought he really came into his own and started. You know, there was a little spell at the beginning of when we went up to the Premiership. I was thinking, he's not going to get in, Fleck, because we've got Luke Freeman, who was playing quite well in those first few games. He came off the bench and looked good. But he came in and eventually he did well. He had a little spell where he scored against Burnley, who was doing really well. Created that, was it him who, can't remember right where he scored one where he received it from Moose around the corner, which was good. And strikers, I don't think we need strikers, because nobody can tell me that with the strikers we've got, we can't score goals in this division. We just have to give them opportunities and get them into, play them into form. If we got rid of our strikers, if we got rid of McBurney and Brewster to any other team in this division, they would score goals. But they don't for us, because we don't create chances, because nobody's scoring goals. You can't say we're not scoring goals because the strikers aren't doing their jobs 100%. Yes, they're not making the runs that they should be making. They're not creating goals for themselves, which they should be doing a few. They should be creating a few goals for themselves. The only one that really looks like he might do that is McGoldrick, because he's going to score outside the box every now and again. But I don't think we need strikers. The only thing I think we did need in the Jukanovic sort of system to what he was wanting to play was wide players, which he looked like he tried to bring one in. The French lad from Panama. It's not Panama. I give up. It's the place beginning with P, the team that play in the Italian league. Yeah, the French winger who we're looking at getting. He'd have been alright, and then we're looking at somebody at the Barcelona lad who plays out wide as well. if we'd have signed a couple of players like that, that would have helped us really well, because then we could have gone for a 3 up front with 1 down the middle. You could have played Brewster or McBurney down the middle, and you'd have hoped that some little simple passes or crosses that had come in, which they'd have been able to pick scraps off, or at least if you stick Billy in there, he's going to pick some scraps off. We don't have anything out wide, and for me, everything's going to come from the fullbacks in the width, because before our width came from us fullbacks and centre halves doing the overlap, and then the central midfielders sometimes, but just can't see a centre mid really drifting out wide that much. Berger goes out wide, does well, but is he really going to consistently create goals? I don't think he is. You know, his final ball's got to improve a lot. We're not having good stuff from Flecky, and then we've got Baldock, whose crossing's really been poor recently. It's never been great, but you know, it's never that good. Basher's been told not to overlap too much when he's playing a 3 at the back, I think. You got Davies on the other side, who's probably not used to overlapping quite so much. And we've got Norrington Davis, who's just come in. You know, I mean, you can't really say, oh yeah, you're going to create every goal we score. So I still worry for us a bit. I think we'll pick up, and we've got to stick with it. The Ivanovic system, I was terribly worried the other day, and I'm still a little bit worried that he's not going to stay the manager, and he's going to walk out because he hasn't been back quite where he wants to be back. He hasn't got the players he wants. But hopefully we stick with him, and I hope the fans stick with him as well, because we're not patient. They're not. Certainly when you listen to Praise or Grumble on Radio Sheffield, there's some very not patient people. But if we stick with him, it should hopefully turn around. It turned around with him at Fulham. It turned around for him at Watford. Both times apparently he started bad. Certainly at Fulham he didn't start well. I listened to Benjamin Bloom, who does the Benjamin Bloom Championship videos. He was telling us we've got to be patient with the Ivanovic stuff. So hopefully things turn around. Looking forward to the next match. Hopefully we get to see the likes of Gibbs-White and Hourihane, and Olsen will probably play. And that's pretty much it for this video anyway. Overall, the transfer window has been not quite there. I like the players we've got, but I would have liked a couple more. Maybe in January it's something that we'll look at strengthening, but it completely depends on how. If we start winning up until that point, then it probably won't happen. Anyway, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I've got a couple of little ideas for things I want to do on here. I've got a program thing. I think I spoke about it in my channel trailer. I've got a thing where I'm going to look for some programs. Old programs, because collected programs from 2006 all the way up to this current season. I didn't get any last season because I didn't go to the matches because nobody did. But I stopped really getting them this season. That was the first one of this season. But I can look back, look at the matches, go through the programs a bit, and then say, look what happened in this match. So if you've enjoyed, please subscribe, and click on the little ding ding thing. What's the little bell? And then it'll notify you when I upload. But other than that, thank you for watching, and hope you've enjoyed my first video, and I hope you enjoy the next one. Thank you very much. Goodbye.